Believe it or not, and despite the cold weather, the spring sports season is here, and that means the women's rowing team is back in action. As today we visit with head coach Jim Dietz. Coach, thanks for joining us. Over the winter break, your team heading down to DeLand in Florida for some training. Tell us a little bit about the off and on-water activities that your team went through.
Well, the on-water activities were most of the day. We were rowing 2 to 3 times a day down in DeLand, Florida on Lake Beresford. It's a 10-day training trip, and we use this to really gear up the team for the spring season. A lot of our more experienced novices have moved up into our varsity boats in anticipation of the spring, and we really boated some of our top boats down there. So I'm really looking forward to the spring. We're back on the water already. We got back on the water about the end of the second week of February, and we've been dodging ice flows and flooding rivers, but that's part of being an outdoor sport. So we're excited. We're going to be here through our semester break here in March, so the team will be living or going to the mattresses here, as we say, and again rowing twice a day all through semester break.
That sounds exciting. Earlier this winter, your team dedicating 2 boats to Whitney Wilbur and Michelle Whitcomb. Tell us a little about what those 2 women mean to this program.
Those women were part of our original squad here when we became a varsity sport in 1996. They went on to row for the United States, winning medals at 4 world championships, I think, between the 2 of them. Really high-level athlete, and it kind of shows you what local girls from Massachusetts can do when they've got a mind to really be successful and go to the top of their sport internationally.
Now getting right down to your schedule, March 19th, you face the Coast Guard Academy in a scrimmage. What do you expect to see from your team in the season's first competition?
The first competition there against Coast Guard, we're going to be coming off of a real high-intensity week of training here over spring break. We go into that first race pretty tired. We're just looking for consistency across the board. The level of the squad, I think, is the highest we've been in the past 3 or 4 years. We've got some real athletes, and again, 4 of the walk-on novice that never rowed before they came to UMass are really good athletes coming out of other sports like swimming and track and field and basketball. So we're really looking forward to racing this year. I think it's going to look good for the conference championship later in the year. And again, the emphasis has changed within the conference. It's only 3 boats that are going to count, so the only 3 boats we're really focusing on are the first 8, the second 8, and the 4.
Now, talking about the team makeup, one of your most successful boats last year was the lightweight 8. Tell us a little about who you think is going to be in that boat, as well as what do you expect to see from that octet of rowers?
Well, the lightweight 8 will be training as a group just once or twice a week, because the top end of the lightweight 8 are in our first 2 boats. So Emily Boucher and Megan Donovan right now are the outer pairs of our varsity 8. Liz Euler and Chelsea Wakeham are the stern pair of our second boat, and they'll be mixing with some of the other gals to make that lightweight 8 later on. But for the beginning of the spring season, the focus is on the open weight events.
Now, talking about your schedule, following a second-place finish last year at the A-10s, you'll be in pursuit of a 14th conference title for the women's rowing program. Who do you see as some of your most formidable opponents this year, and how do you plan to get around them?
I think St. Joe's will be strong again in the varsity 8. I don't know what their depth is going to be like as you move down to the second boat and the 4. URI will be strong. We saw them as well down in Florida. They've got a lot of good athletes in that program. So I would say St. Joe's and URI are the teams to watch.
Well, Coach, we thank you for your time. Wish you the best of luck.
Thanks a lot. Looking forward to seeing you guys.
That was head coach of the women's rowing team, Jim Dietz. Check UMassathletics.com for recaps, previews on all the meets this season. I'm Ethan Sobel for UMassathletics.com.